now, guys. Looking at what's left of the garden from last summer. I was really sick. I couldn't even go out. I couldn't come out and work on it or nothing. You can see this was our herb garden. Onions, that kind of thing. Spices. Some things that are covered for the winter. Pretty desolate. And then I've been putting coffee grounds down here in the soil. It's good for the grass. It's good for the garden too. And when I plant that spinach, I think I'm going to put some of it down in there and cover it with windows. I have some extra windows. And give that a look-see. Guys, I got like 15 liters of just the regular garden soil. It's just potting soil, so I'm going to put the spinach seeds in there. And, well, actually, I'm going to put the soil in here and put the spinach seeds in there. As I don't think putting the spinach seeds in there would do much good. I'm recycling some old coffee cups. Yep, in the morning drive into work. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fill these with soil, and I'm going to start some spinach seeds in there, and I'm going to put them in that hole in the ground that I showed you, covered with a window, and I hope the temperatures don't get too low. But first I'm going to germinate them here inside the house, because they won't germinate in that cold temperature, but they will germinate inside the house. And once they're germinated, then I can just put them outside and let them grow naturally. I've had some success with this in the winter, so hey, I want to show you. Now, I finished planting the seeds here of spinach, and you're probably asking, what are we going to do next? Well, we're going to take a little spitzer bottle and we're going to moisten the soil for sure. Then I'm going to put them in the furnace room with no light because I don't need it. They're going to germinate. Okay? Then the next step after that, we are expecting some very warm weather next week. And I'm going to... I have a dugout in the garden, which you've seen in just earlier on here in this episode, and I'm going to clear that out a little bit better if I can. It depends on how hard the ground is. And then I'm going to set these right down at the base, right down at the bottom of that hole. Okay? The next step is I'm going to cover them with windows. Okay, now I had a sensor last year, and I did this last year, and for like wintering through the garden, and the temperatures generally didn't get anywhere below -1. So this is quite doable, I think, and to get them germinated, and then just to get them through the rest of the way, and then have an early start on spring. Now, if I wanted to do this for a harvest in the winter, I would probably have to plant these in that hole significantly earlier, or even last year I had them above the surface. And they weren't even covered. And I just had 2 sticks on the side holding up a window. And they did just fine. And then when spring came along, they took off. And I had the most beautiful green, lush garden. Everybody else's garden was just dirt. So, you know, something to do. I want to do broccoli too. I got to find some broccoli seeds and we'll get on that. So anyway, the next step here is I'm going to water them. We're back with the spritzer bottle. I have it set up properly. Just gonna just lightly. That'll soak them fairly good. You want to germinate them, right? So that's the whole idea. Just give her a good. One thing for germinating your seeds, you definitely gotta soak them pretty good. You could germinate these in a bag. There's different ways to germinate things. I can't wait this spring, guys. I'm gonna show you cloning techniques when it comes to tomatoes. Yeah, that's gonna be an exciting episode. That'll be coming fairly soon. I'm not gonna wait too long, as you can start your tomatoes early. I mean, lots of people do. In fact, you kind of have to. It depends on where you live. Although we do have volunteer tomatoes here that come up and successfully produce fruit, usually in late September or so. Okay, now these guys are pretty much set up here, and we're going to go and take these to the furnace room. I won't bother you showing you the footage of that. You'll just assume that we've walked over to the furnace room because that's what we've done. I'll be back. All right, we are back in the furnace room now, and I'm just was telling you about these guys here. Now the key here is we got the temperature in the furnace room is probably about like 22, 21 degrees Celsius, or 70 Fahrenheit for American friends. So they're all there, and I moisten the soil. The key is to keep this soil moist. You actually can see a seed sticking right up there. I'll cover that one up a little bit better. You can see. Yeah. There you go. You don't see me no more. It's probably somewhere. I'll take a look around there and make sure I got them covered up nice. And then over there I have the other two. I'm sitting on top of a hot water tank. Just these four. It's just a small experiment. I want to show you guys what you can do in the depths of winter when you're bored out of your mind. I bet you could probably do this in Sweden or Norway too. I don't know where the frost line is there particularly. You wouldn't do it in permanent frost. So, anyway, I'm gonna check tonight. Back on these, I'll spare you the video, but I'm gonna keep them moistened, and then whenever I see some life shooting out of there, of course I'll be back here to give you an update on our little experiment here. And then next week we're going to get these little buggers right in the garden. I hope probably next Friday. We'll see. Okay. We are going to continue on with our spinach planting by filling this with water. Okay, and you're probably wondering, okay, what's he up to? Well, this is just a topper for cake. You know those ice cream cakes that you purchase for birthdays and stuff. So I just recycled it. It makes an excellent bath. That's what we're trying to do here. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm just going to shut this down so you can hear what I'm saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those solo cups that I have with the seeds in them. I'm going to put them in there, and the water's going to wick up because I have a hole in the bottom of the cup that you'll see. And that's what happens. It's a potting soil, so it's going to take the water on real fast. Only thing is you don't want to put too much water in there because they'll float and tip over and all that other stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little break here with the camera and go get those plants, and I'll be back. Oop, one more drop. Well, you can see I've got one sitting in the back there. You can see a little bit of water, just a little bit. It's going to wick up. More here. You can tell this is the laundry room. It's a space. The grass is a little bit cold. It's insulated, but it's not heated. All right. So we have that, and that's going to sit there for. Oh, there's no rush. I'll take and load up this part of the video that I'm making for Friday, this release, and let this wick up, because, oh yeah, I didn't show you that. Oh, I'll have to put a hole in the bottom of that one. And let's see, what do we got there? That one's got a hole. We're good there. The things you notice, eh? Yeah, that one's got a hole. And let's hope this one does. Alright, we'll fix those things. Yeah, I'm not going to wick very much. Anyway, I'll put this on hold and I'll repair that and get back to you. Okay. We have windows. These are, oh, sorry, I'm going to introduce. Hello, Moonbeam. Yeah. Oh, I love you too. Now, we are, you can see my shadow. You can see the cast of the shadow. We're in January, guys, here in Canada. And you would not know it because we are the land of ice and snow and it's melting. And we get a long period of warm weather coming up in January. Global warming? I think it's real. Anyway, those are the windows I'm going to be using, guys, to put on that hole to cover the garden so we can grow some spinach down there. So give me a minute and I'll check in with you guys. And there's the hole. And I'm going to place those windows on that hole Let's see if I can get in there, guys. That little cagey thing. The deer don't seem to have a problem getting over the fence, but I do. My old age. You hear a bird in the background. Sounds an awful lot like a robin. That's because it is. Yeah, the robins are overwintering here. Which is, a lot of people think that robins need warm weather. There's that hole, guys. You can see they're going to go down in there. They're going to get a little sunlight. As the days roll, I might put a little tin foil to reflect some of that sunlight there. And go from there. Yeah, it might be a little too deep, that hole. I might, I don't know. Maybe I'll fill it in a bit. Doesn't need to be deep, guys. Alright, take a little break and I'll show you when the windows are on. Okay, and there are the windows in place. Now I'm going to come back a little later and take and put those in there. For me, it's break time. So I'm going to take a little break and we'll finish this video later. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, I'm back. Take a look here. That noise you hear in the background is just the exhaust fan. I'm going to probably redo this video, but just in case I don't, there it is. Those are those spinach seeds that we planted the other day. The soil is nice and moist. Okay, so it's about 3 degrees here. Cake topper. We talked about this earlier. I'm doing that. Then later on, I think we're going to go for a little walk, and I'll show you where I'm going to put them in the ground. And I'm going to just keep them outside and let them germinate that way. Because we are in for a pile of nice weather, and why not germinate them outside? So hang tough here while I show you what I'm going to do next. Say hello to my lovely cat. Hello, Moon. I think she's going to use that for a litter box. Anyway. So here's the plan. Without casting any large shadows because of where the sun is. This is January the 15th, I believe. Sunday. And I'm going to dig a hole right in here, guys. If I can. Or I'm just going to place them in here till the soil gets soft. The soil's hard, but that's not going to hurt anything. The windows. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I may forego that particular garden adventure because I noticed that the hole is dark and there's not a lot of light going on down there. And of course there's my cat in the hole using it for a litter box. Just as I said. So she's fertilizing. Oh, Mooney. Alright. We have the cake topper. With the magic of a cell phone. We've moved everything over here where they're going to stay the night and day for the next little while. Now you can see here, I'm not quite, I'm going to put and insulate that. If the wind comes up, it's going to blow that away, right? So I'm going to take the loose soil that's here on the surface and I'm just going to just carefully tuck that in. I know you guys are probably thinking, what is this madman doing here? Well, we're gardeners. We're just having a little fun. It's off season, and we just want to garden so desperately that sometimes we do crazy things like this, and that's okay. I'm not dangerous, I don't think. So I'm just packing that in. If that freezes in its place, that's fine. Do a little better job there. Pack that down. Okay, so there are your seeds. And that's how much that cake cost last year. Alright. So we're going to see how that goes. And we'll take a look at it maybe tomorrow. I got to work tomorrow, but after work we'll come out here in the afternoon and take a peek. Alright, until the next frame on this little movie. We'll check in with you in a couple of minutes, I guess, according to what I'm doing here. Okay, we're back again with our very expensive cake topper. The spinach is under there. We're going to look at it a little later on. Not going to dig it out of its hole right now because it went down to -10 last night. So I'm just going to say we're going to check on this with a part 2 episode. Just going to give you a little bit of brief information on spinach. Spinach is a plant that is an annual. It originates from Asia, and it's got lots of iron in it that you can absorb. You can eat it and get the iron. The calcium isn't so free though. I mean, there is calcium in it, but you can't get a lot of calcium from it. There's a little bit more on Wikipedia. I'll send you a link. We're going to redo this one, part 2, and see how it's turning out. Originally we were just going to have the spinach inside and germinate it inside, but we're just going to do it out here. I don't see the problem. Anyway, it's been a fun episode. I've had fun doing it. I feel good these days, so that's great. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. And if you want to subscribe, just look on down to the bottom of the page on the right hand side. You should see that subscribe button, and I'd be thrilled to have you in the garden with me. Two Turtle Gardens. All right. Take care, everyone. This is a nice specimen of a plant.